If you haven't watched The Last of Us, don't watch this video. And if you do and you didn't watch it and you cry in the comments about spoilers, don't ask why I'm standing. Actually, I'm gonna answer it. I feel like it. I feel like I'm less comfortable when I'm just sitting in my chair and talking to you guys. I feel like I'm going insane and I want to move around and it helps me think, I think. That candle would not go out. I want to start doing some movie reviews, series reviews. I've kind of done a lot of commentary on this channel, but something that I've been really enjoying is just talking about some movies, talking about shows that have been coming out. You guys, I've already talked about Velma and how I knew it was going to be dog shit before it came out. Some of you were, what the fuck's the word? Bitches. But yeah, I've done like a couple movie reviews and stuff like that about things that I don't like. And today we're gonna do something about something I absolutely loved. Today we're talking about The Last of Us, a new HBO show that just dropped. And it's something that I've been looking forward to. And it's something that I was scared to watch because I didn't want it to be bad. Last of Us is a video game. It is one of the best games as far as story goes, immersion. It's a video game that is as close to reality that a video game has reached, or at least making you feel like you're there, feel like you're in it. And that's the big thing about video games is the immersion aspect. So I was really excited to see that The Last of Us was coming, and I was even more excited when I saw that the original writers were actually a part of this project. One of the big problems that I see with adaptations of older materials is that the original creators are not involved. When that happens, the passion doesn't really follow in line with it. We've seen this represented in The Witcher. The writers for that show are not really fans of it, or they think that they can make a better show, when in reality the fans want what it was. You're not going to tell a better story than the story that people already love. This is also apparent in Velma, or no, I'm not gonna. This is very apparent in The Walking Dead, because earlier seasons it feels like it follows pretty close to the original source material. It doesn't add as much random shit, but as we get further and further from season 1, we start to sway and add all kinds of extra things that don't need to progress a story. I have a theory that The Walking Dead showrunners were seeing money bags, so they decided to create a universe. We don't want a fucking new universe. The Walking Dead already had a universe, you know, whatever. It's all horse shit, all dog shit. They fucked up our show. But The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann, the original writer, is involved. That makes me very happy, because that means the passion is still there. The love for the original concept is still there, and hopefully money is not the only driver. So right now I'm gonna do a breakdown of the first episode and explain to you why I think it's the greatest thing that has been made in the last whatever the fuck. The intro scene is a couple of scientists on a TV network, and they are explaining viral diseases. I really loved this scene. It really sets in that reality, and that's a big thing to hold on to. The immersion that we feel throughout the rest of this first episode, at the very least, is insane. They took a concept and made it feel like it could actually happen. There's no questions about how sinister this show is gonna be. It's gonna be a very dark show, and they don't let that slide. They let you know in the beginning that this is gonna be a dark show. The suspense is immediately instilled within the first minute. I really love the concept that The Last of Us universe has for its zombies. When that Scottish scientist starts to go on his monologue about how this is would pretty much be the end of the world, and like when he says we lose, like whew, the camera's cutting from all of their stun-locked faces and he's going on his monologue, and it's perfect. It immediately sets you into this, like everybody like watching the show is doing exactly what those people in the audience were doing. You're just sitting there like, the fuck? Impressions are everything. First impressions, intro scenes. It's the biggest thing, especially when you're trying to solidify and sell to people like, hey, you should be watching the show. So the first scene really really does a good job. And something else that is a super big first impression is the theme song. Every show is only as good as its theme song, and Last of Us has a great one. I think they had the same musical composer as in the video games, and you could really feel that. Very similar to a lot of the music that was in the video game itself. Crucial part of the game as well. A very strong soundtrack. A big part of the first episode, and something that I really love, something that I absolutely love, is the extra context that we get for Sarah. Sarah is Joel's daughter, and in the game, we get a connection to her, but it's very brief. In the show too, it is also very brief, but we get a lot of added context. I really love the added context of her relationship with Joel. That's something we didn't really get to see. We see a little bit, and obviously we get the gist of it. Like, oh, this is Joel and his daughter. He loves his daughter. And then, you know, shit happens. I love the fact that we got to follow her for the first 30 minutes of the show. It really, really hits home when her scene where she dies happens. It's still super meaningful in the game as well, but just adding that extra context, that extra human relatability, a super strong choice, and I really love that they did that. We follow Sarah for a little while, and it's very heavy on her. Joel's not really in this part of the episode as much. Very heavy on what she's doing, what she's experiencing. She is the story right now. She's the one we're focused on. She's the one we're building up. Sarah goes to the neighbor's house. This is where the suspense really kicks it up to 25 for me. You see Sarah standing with her back turned to the older woman. As soon as that shit happened, I think I held my breath for probably like 10 minutes because, dude, that shit was like, oh fuck, when is it gonna happen? I think they're balancing the scenes in a way that like new viewers are going to understand everything as they watch, and then the fans of the game are getting the scenes and they're like, fuck yeah. There's gonna be so many Easter eggs, so many things that people get to be like, holy shit, I seen this in the game, and they're gonna love that shit. I think they're balancing it super well as far as the first episode goes. People who played the video games probably felt like the game was super immersive, felt real. It really felt like you were in there. You were like, holy shit. But in video games, I think there's something we as players will always inherently know, is that it is a video game. And I think that's the one degree of separation that keeps us from really feeling it, really feeling that reality of what's happening. In the show, these are people. It's all happening. That degree of separation isn't there anymore. There's always going to be that degree of separation of reality within a video game. But when it's in the show and done well, it doesn't take anything away from the video games, but the show does it so good. Like, you can really feel like once they start doing those POV shots and they're going back and forth and you're seeing through the windshield out the car, like all this shit blowing up and stuff, and then they cut back and the plane is fucking, at that point I was like, holy shit, I'm fucking losing it. It was amazing. Something else that I really liked is that they did the infection really well. One thing that would have really made the show bad is if the zombies or the infected or the clickers or anything like that looked like shit. In the game, you have runners, and those are the like newly infected. There's a scene where Joel and Sarah are running through the city, and then they come across a group of runners, group of zombies. Runners, zombies, whatever. I don't know. We'll say runners. There's a group of runners. One of them snaps up, sees them, and twitches. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck all of that. I think it's a super good representation of what the games would have been in reality. Honestly, horrifying. If I ever saw some shit like that running at me, dude, I'd be fucked. So now we get to the inevitable scene. And I think this is a very interesting experience for people who already have played the games, because you know what's gonna happen. We already know this is what they're setting up for. But even though I saw this happening from 10 miles away yesterday, dude, the way they did this, the buildup, the setup, everything up to this point, when that all happens, Tommy comes down, saves them, and the realization hits that Sarah's gonna die. that still hit me like a ton of bricks. That hit me like I didn't know it was gonna happen. Like that shit, I've never had a show ever in my entire life get me to cry within the first 30 minutes. And not only that, cry from something that I knew was going to happen. Are you fucked? This show told you what was gonna happen 5-6 years ago, maybe even 10. Holy shit, where are we? I really loved this first 30 minutes. This first 30 minutes honestly solidified to me that this show was going to be phenomenal, and that this show is in the right hands, and luckily the original hands. And it's not gonna be a cash cow. It's not gonna be a money grab or anything like that. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be something that is cared for and grown the way it was supposed to be, and represented for the people who love the original game. There's not a lot more to say after this. I think that we're gonna get a lot more from Joel in the coming episodes, because I think we get a lot of the best parts of Joel when it's just Ellie and Joel. The greatest aspects of his character start to really shine is during that alone time with Ellie. Speaking of Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey, she embodies the personality of young Ellie very well, you know, like that little shithead attitude, just like fuck you and fuck the world type of deal. I was very surprised to see that Bella Ramsey's 19 years old and not literally 12. What the fuck? Here's a criticism that I don't really fuck with. A lot of people were criticizing the fact that Bella Ramsey doesn't look like Ellie. I think that as long as you hold true to the character, the look is secondary. I would rather somebody not look like the character as close as possible if they embody the personality to a goddamn T. So if Bella Ramsey can pull that off, and I think she's going to, fuck all that criticism. That's bullshit. Like, I don't care if they look like the goddamn person. Can they be that person? But yeah, I mean, Sarah doesn't look like herself, and that didn't change anything. The character's amazing. And I mean, I guess I can get it that they want like the perfect representation in personality, in look, in sound, everything. Come on. Is the personality's there? They're acting it well. Let's go. We got it. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be like the perfect 1-to-1 ratio person. As long as it keeps going this way, and as long as they keep holding true to the original game, and they are just here to add context and here to bring the best performance they possibly can, I think this show is going to be amazing. If the first episode is any indicator of that, then this show can quite possibly be not only one of the greatest video game adaptations, not only one of the greatest zombie series. Fuck The Walking Dead, bro. Fuck The Walking Dead, bro. We don't even know why the fuck. They were like, ooh, what caused the infection? Aliens. What the fuck are you talking about? Boring as shit. These motherfuckers came in and was like, yeah, we got fungi, dude. We got fungi up in this bitch. Motherfucker said aliens. Get the fuck out of here. But anyways, as always, I gave you my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the show. So, you're a hoe. See you next time, bitch.